Hi, good evening, everyone. Right, so tonight's late video. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm a bloody night owl. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider giving me a like down below, drop a comment. Be great if you want to subscribe. I'm never going to ask you to buy me a coffee because, strangely enough, I can afford tea and coffee. But anyway, tonight's thing, just thought pretty brief video. Finally got to do something that I've been trying to do for the last week. So if you're in the Restore Britain movement, what have you, or just politically engaged in any way whatsoever, you may have noticed there's been a lot of furore online, particularly on X, regarding reform, fielding all these, well, shall we say, what would we call them? Well, they're not really from these parts, shall we say. I mean, some of these guys are from the bloody Boris wave, you know? It's absolutely ridiculous. So what I've been trying to do all week, because I quite often ring Talk, Talk TV, which is actually, it's not a bad station. I mean, it's very, very pro-reform. I mean, it's just as bad as GB News in that sense. And obviously there's been some issues there with Restore Britain. They're another one that just Restore Britain don't seem to exist. And when they do, they're kind of like, you have Alex Phillips going, whoa, like some kind of fucking deranged idiot. Like some scary ethnots or darkness there, oh, fucking absolute bollocks. But, so it's very, very difficult. I mean, I have actually managed to speak about Restore Britain a few times on there now. Just depends on the host. But I've been wanting to talk about this particular issue with these, like say these Boris waivers and basically foreigners. In particular reference because Farage, at the beginning of March, Farage had come out and said foreigners shouldn't vote in our elections. But apparently standing them in our elections is perfectly fucking fine, according to old Nigel. God, I mean, the sheer hypocrisy of that guy is just fucking off the scale. Anyway, so I've been trying to get on to talk about this, but as soon as they get any hint that you're going to start going on about something like that, you just don't even get any. You don't get a call back. You get nothing. So today I tried to play it a bit cooler, and it's, and Alex Phillips, she does the weekends basically. So I thought, I don't know whether I'll get on given how much she's pro Nigel, shall we say. Just a fucking little bit. Obviously, there's some rumours there as well as to exactly how close those two are. But anyway, so I thought I'd give it a go. So I rang up. She kind of made a run for her own back here because she'd been talking about foreigners voting in elections and standing in Parliament and all this kind of stuff. So I was like, all right. So give her a ring. Got a call back though. Nice one. Now, I hadn't hinted that I was going to mention this thing about the candidates that Reform was standing. So, having a brief conversation, it's only like about 1.5 minutes on there. And at the very end, she tries to interrupt because what she does is, when you're on with talking with her, because I've spoke to her before, as soon as she butts in, as soon as you let her get in, boom, you're gone. Because she'll just go on and on and on. She just fucking waffles. I mean, she is the classic stereotype of woman in that sense, just some fucking shut up. Says me recording a video on fucking YouTube. But yeah, so what I did was she chirped up and I just kind of raised my voice a little bit and just kept going. So she kind of shut up then. And that's when I dropped it. And I mentioned about reform and, them fielding these candidates and what have you. And surprisingly, she goes, oh, well, there's not a reform spokesman to, speak for that. But anyway, I'll let the video show you what I'm talking about. So, hope you enjoy it. If there's anything you want me to discuss on this channel, just drop me a comment down there and I'll have a look. I'll try and reply to as many comments as I can. At the minute, really easy because I'll get about 6 views. So I can reply at the minute for sure. But anyway, yeah, if you like it, just drop me a like, drop me a subscribe, and hope you enjoy.
To Mark in Lincolnshire. Good morning, Mark.
Hi there, Alex.
Hi there. Hi there. Foreigners or non-British citizens voting or standing in our elections. It's always been a bad idea. I'm amazed that it's ever been allowed, to be honest with you. It doesn't surprise me with the way our governments are, so traitorous over the last 30, 40 years. But it just shouldn't be. It's absolutely ridiculous because the problem is, I don't even think essentially non-natives should be in positions of power over the natives of this country, because each group, the human condition is in-group preference. So each group will always automatically prefer their own kind, essentially. They want to seek better deals for their own people, even within your own country. This has been shown time and again, hasn't it?
What I find
whether the Pakistan airport, whether, wherever it is. I think a more worrying concern, I think, for voters coming up is, where you've got reform. On one hand, saying foreigners shouldn't vote in our elections, but they're standing several in the upcoming May elections. Some of them from the Boris way, for goodness sakes.
At council level, at local council level. Yeah, I don't actually have a reform spokesman here at hand to answer that for you. I personally think that you should be born and raised in this country if you want to be elected to public office. Frankly, if you want to work in anything public facing, I think if you work in the public sector, frankly.